Hello, my dear students. Today we'll continue with the same chapter, refraction of light. Last time I taught you about the multiple images by a 3-glass mirror. That portion has been removed by the council, so you can skip that part. And last time I told you we'll be doing numericals on the formula refractive index mu is equal to real or actual depth by the apparent depth. So you can see these two problems I have taken from the book only. First problem says a water pond appears to be 2.7 meter deep. If refractive index of water is 4 by 3, Ri is refractive index, find the actual depth of the pond. Formula is simple, like mu is equal to actual depth or real depth by the apparent depth. Put the value of refractive index, that is 4 by 3. Actual depth we have to find. Appearing depth, that is apparent depth, is given 2.7. And find the answer. Now actual depth is equal to 3.6 meter. The answer is there. Now question number 2 says a coin is placed at the bottom of a beaker containing water of Ri 4 by 3 to a depth of 12 centimeter. By what height the coin appears to be raised when seen vertically above it? Same formula, mu is equal to actual depth by the apparent depth. mu1 is given 4 by 3, actual depth is 12, apparent depth we will calculate. The apparent depth is coming 9 centimeter. But the question is asking you by what height the coin appears to be raised. By how much the coin appears to be raised, that means the shift in the position you have to find. Raise or shift in the position will be equal to real actual depth minus the apparent one. Actual depth and apparent is this much, and minus it we get the position by which it is appearing raised. The answer is coming 3 centimeter here. So this is the solution for question number 2. Okay, I have given these two problems for your homework. Try to do it. If you cannot solve it, then I will solve for you. Okay, give a try yourself. Now here is a question, another one, thinking based. So there is a white sheet of paper. On the white sheet of paper there are 7 spots marked with the respective colors with pure. This spot is violet spot marked with the indigo ink, blue ink, green, yellow, orange, red ink, and so on. That is with pure. 7 colors are there. When we place a glass block over it, what will we'll try to see these spots from vertically above. You will find that all the spots will be appearing raised due to apparent depth. There is a real depth and apparent depth. They all will appear to be closer. Now the question is, which of the colors will appear to be raised maximum? Which of the color will appear to be raised maximum? Or they all color will look like in the same light? What should be the answer for this? Here is the answer for this. On this white sheet of paper, you are placing glass block and checking the answer over here. You will find that the violet color, violet spot will be appearing to be raised maximum, right on top. Indigo will be somewhere here, blue will be somewhere here, green will be somewhere here, red will be here, orange will be here, and red will be over here. And what should be the reason for this? The reason for this is this one. Mu is equal to, we know the formula, real depth by the apparent depth. Which color has the greatest value of refractive index? The answer is violet. Last time, only in the beginning only I told you that the violet has the maximum refractive index value. If refractive index is maximum, then apparent depth will be minimum. And when the apparent depth is minimum, here is the apparent depth from top we are considering. So this depth is minimum, that is the shift is maximum. The color violet will be raised maximum, will appear to be raised maximum. So violet will be right on top, then indigo, blue, and in the form of ladder like this going down. So this problem is solved. In the book also they are given consequences of refraction of light. Consequences is a result test question based on the refraction effect. They are given like this. A star appears twinkling in the sky. Why does the star appear twinkling? Because the rays traveling from different layers of the air. So So every time the refraction is taking place towards and away, towards and away, towards and away, so it follows a zigzag path and gives us the appearance of twinkling of stars. So this also is due to refraction effect. Another question they have given, another consequence. The sun is seen a few minutes before it rises above the horizon in the morning, and in the evening few minutes longer after it sets. That means the formation of twilight. Sun already sets in, but we receive the sunlight for quite some time because the sun's image will be formed slightly above it. So we will still be able to see the sun for quite some time. A coin kept in the vessel and not visible when seen from just below the edge of the vessel can be viewed from the same position when water is poured into the vessel. Coin in the empty glass, we cannot see it at a particular angle. You fill it with water. Due to refraction, you will be able to see because the position of the coin will appear to be raised, and then now you will be able to see it. This is also due to refraction. A print appears to be raised when a glass block is placed over it. There is a printed page, we place a glass block over it, all the prints will appear to be raised, also due to refraction. A tank appears shallow than its actual depth. Water tank and all, they appear shallow than its actual depth. A person's leg appears to be short when standing in a tank. It's also due to refraction. All the recent type questions are based on refraction. An object placed in a denser medium, when viewed from a rarer medium, appears to be at a lesser depth. The position is appearing to be raised, so it will appear a bit shorter. On the other hand, an object placed in a rarer medium, when viewed from a denser medium, appears to be at a greater height. Greater because the position will appear to be raised. So now the apparent position will be more than its actual position. So it will appear to be raised. Okay, now you see the refraction through a prism. Normally a glass prism. So glass prism diagram will draw like this. We'll take monochromatic ray. Monochromatic means single color ray. Single color, not the white, because white is polychromatic. It contains many colors. Use any single color ray, that is called monochromatic. Mono means single, chromatic is color. Ray will be coming like this. This is air, this is glass. Ray will be bending towards the normal air like this, and then glass to air it will bend away from the normal. We draw normal here and normal over here. Normally should draw such that this angle should look like 90 degree. This angle should look like 90 degree. Two times refraction takes place, here and here. This ray and this ray will never be parallel because they are not refracted by the parallel sides. That happens in case of rectangular glass block. Two sides are parallel, so rays also, incident ray and emergent ray also becomes parallel. But that doesn't happen in case of prism. Now let us label various rays. This ray is called incident ray, this ray is called refracted ray, and this ray is called emergent ray, the ray which is coming out finally. Incident ray, refracted ray, and the emergent ray. This angle between these two sides which are refracted is called angle of the prism and denoted by A. This A is called angle of the prism. Similarly, suppose rays are coming like this, it will be refracted here and here. So here will be the angle A. If these two sides are refracting like this, then this angle will be taken as A, the angle of the prism. So angle of prism depends upon whichever two sides refract, angle between them you have to take as the angle of prism. Here there are two angles marked, R1 and R2. This is called angle of refraction. These two are called angle of refractions. I is called angle of incidence and E is called angle of emergence. Now in a prism this always happens. R1 plus R2 will be always equal to here. This plus this will be equal to this angle. For example, suppose this is 60 degree and this is 40. Now how much will be this? 40 plus 20, because 40 plus 20 will give 60. If this is 30 and this is 70, then 30 plus 70 add and this is the answer coming here. So 30 plus 70 become 8. So R1 plus R2 is always equal to 8. So out of these two angles suppose given, then you can find this, or one of these given, you can find this one by this equation of R1 plus R2 is equal to 8. This always happens in case of any prism. Now how to prove it? Though proving is only optional, so it's not in the syllabus, but better you understand why this happens, though it is not in the syllabus. We'll take three angles of triangle and write equal to 180 degree. First angle you can see out here. I am not showing the diagram, but this angle you see. The total angle is 90. A part of this R1, the remaining part will become 90 minus R1, which I have written here. Similarly, this angle will become 90 minus R2 because normal makes 90 degree angle. Total angle is 90. A part of this R2, the remaining angle is 90 minus R2 plus A equal to 180. So 90, 90, 180. Carry on, we get A values coming like this, R1 plus R2, that is R1 plus R2 is equal to A. You may even get a question that is fill in the blank style. R1 plus dash is equal to A. You can fill it up with R2. Now, in a prism we show one more angle that is called angle of deviation. Incident ray is produced straight. Emergent ray also is produced backward, straight by dotted line. And the angle between these two, incident ray and the emergent ray, is called angle of deviation. Angle of deviation in case of glass block is 0. There is no angle of deviation because rays are exactly parallel, so they don't make any angle between them. But here in this case they make angle. Why? Because these two sides refracting surfaces are inclined with some angle. That's why this angle is called angle of deviation, denoted by the symbol called delta. This sign is called delta. We have a formula for delta also. The formula of delta is like this: I plus E minus A. Why this happens? Because of this angle. This entire will be I because of vertically opposite. So a part of it, this angle will become I minus R1. This angle will become E minus R2. So exterior angle property of triangle. Exterior angle delta is equal to this angle plus this angle. The value of this angle is I minus R1. The value of this angle is E minus R2. Now I plus E I put together, minus common, you get R1 plus R2, you get I plus E, and R1 plus R2 makes R1 plus R2 makes A, so I will put that there. So angle of deviation has got this formula. Delta is equal to I plus E minus A. Though the proving will not come. In I6C level, proving will not come, but they may ask you fill in the blank type question like delta plus A. One year in I6C they have given this question. Delta plus dash is equal to I plus dash. What are you going to fill it up with the blanks? So here you will be writing A and here you will be writing E. So that way the question may come. Now the question arises, the angle of deviation delta depends on what factors? So it depends on, you can look at the formula, it depends on these factors mentioned. First factor is I is angle of incidence. Second factor is refractive index of the material of the prism. So refractive index Ri, because Ri value will give the value of E, so it depends indirectly on the value of E. It depends on the, when it depends on the refractive index, it depends upon the color of the light also. We know the fact the violet color bends the most, so violet will have the maximum angle of deviation and the red bends the least, so red will have the minimum value of angle of deviation, and it depends upon the wavelength of light also. And one more factor you can add on, this is angle of the prism. Angle of prism. It depends upon the value of the angle of prism also, because in the formula A is also coming. So these are the factors on which the angle of deviation delta depends. Now one important question on here: how does the angle of deviation delta vary with the angle of incidence I? How does it vary? So it varies according to a typical graph like this. This graph is called deviation curve or deviation graph between delta and I. So from this graph we will find that when I is increasing, the delta will decrease, and it keeps on decreasing till it reaches the minimum value. After reaching the minimum value, again the delta value increases. It does not keep on decreasing and become zero. Never becomes zero. It keeps on decreasing, again it's increasing here. So here is the angle of deviation becoming minimum. Minimum is the least value, and then again it's increasing. So practically it is observed that delta will be minimum when I and E are equal. When angle of incidence and angle of emergence are equal, that time angle of deviation becomes minimum. When I and E are equal, then R1 and R2 also become equal. And R1 plus R2 will be, R1 equal to R2 will be equal to A by 2. Each value will be A by 2. And the reason is behind this. R1 and R2 are equal, then you can add 2 R1 is equal to A. Therefore, R1 value will become A by 2. That means if suppose you are having this angle 60, you divide equally 30, 30, then the minimum deviation, the angle of deviation will be minimum. If this is 100, you have to divide equally 50 and 50. Then this angle delta will become minimum. The one such case we had in syllabus to show is this one, equilateral prism. We are showing angle of deviation, minimum deviation by equilateral prism. We'll put this in bracket. This minimum deviation position we are showing in an equilateral prism, which is also called regular prism or equiangular prisms. All the angles are equal. Each one is 60 degree. So how to draw the diagram? For this now we'll take a monochromatic light like this. The ray within the prism now will be exactly parallel to the base. That is this line will be exactly parallel to the BC, the base, and then it will be coming out. If this is 60 degrees, so we know the fact these two angles have to be equal, and each one will be 30 degree, because 30 plus 30 will make 60. Now this angle, on the basis of calculation, we just said this value we are supposed to learn by heart, that is 49 degree, 49 degree. If they ask you to draw the level diagram, we draw like this. And that time you calculate the angle of deviation, which is minimum, by using this formula. I value is how much here? 49. At 49, E value is how much? Had to be same, because the minimum deviation is taking place. Minus K value is 60. Calculate 49 plus 49 become 98 minus 60. The answer is coming 38 degree approximately. In book they have given this value as 48.7. 48.7. You can take either 48.7 degree value or nearly 49 degree you can take and calculate the minimum deviation. So this is the diagram. One diagram you have in syllabus. According to ICC council, that this ray and this ray become parallel, the key point to be noted, and these two angles will be, what will be the angle of refraction in such case? 30 degree each. R1 and R2 both will be equal, and each will be equal to 30 degree each. Now one important announcement was that first three chapters, force, work, power, energy and machine, these three chapters I have already taught on KTV online classes. You can check the link in the YouTube of KTV online classes physics. I think you will find first three chapters thoroughly taught over there. So please go through those links and see those chapters thoroughly, because they will be coming in your first exams. Thank you.